thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to talk to you. How are you doing today?
I'm a little bit tired. We had a 20-hour journey yesterday from Poland going back home, so I'm a little bit slower than usual, but I'm fine.
Yeah, and it's great to have you here on the show. Obviously, the heat of the moment comes from Year of the Goat's new album, Trivia Goddess. How have the reactions been so far?
They've been pretty good, I think. We're getting some fine reviews. Uh, German magazine Rock Hard had us as album of the month, and that's very nice. Ahead of some of our childhood. What can you say, idols. So uh, that felt nice. Never thought that would happen.
Yeah, it's deserved because Trivia Goddess is a very good album. I actually w wasn't familiar with the Year of the Goat before, but you got a new fan here now.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
and it comes 6 years after your last album, Novis Orbis Terrarum Mortinis. What took you so long to create this album?
I think we released the last album in 2019 in the fall, and we had a tour and some festival shows lined up for the spring and summer of 2020. And we all remember what happened then. And even though you're young, you still remember what happened
Yeah,
five
obviously.
years ago. Yes, yes, wonderful,
Obviously.
great. And
I'm not that young.
so pandemic set in, and we were just about ready to go out and promote that album and meet the fans and yeah, have a good time. But that didn't happen. We lost some band members, a drummer just prior to the release, so we rehearsed with new band members. We lost a bass player, we lost a guitar player, not all at once, but they uh, so and the shows were postponed. So I think we rehearsed to get the new band members ready for the new dates, and then they were postponed again. And then finally, we, in plain French, just said, "Well, fuck it," and we started writing some songs, and was abrupted by the offer to make the music for a movie, a Finnish movie called Heavier Trip that was released in the fall of 2024. So, and as soon as the movie was done, we started working on the album and finished it uh, quite quite quickly. But before then, not that quickly. So for us, it kind of feels like it's we've been busy all the time, and we just realized when we started doing these interviews, like, shit, it's been 6 years. So.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned the movie, how was the feeling of working for a completely different setting than it is to make an album and to release it?
We thought it would be easy, like a cakewalk, and just walk in there and we can make music. Luckily, we could use a lot of our previous material, but we had to go in there and edit it and make it fit for the movie, and that was a lot of work. We're not that used to having somebody else telling us what they want our music to be. We are very privileged that we can do whatever we want usually. So it was a good learning experience as well, and to maybe see details that we would miss before. So I think we brought that new knowledge into the production of the new album, and we started paying attention, I think, to more details and so forth. So it was a really good experience, but not at all as easy as we thought. We were kind of stressed out for a while, but we hit
Yeah,
the deadline and everything worked out fine.
yeah, that's great. And regarding Trivia Goddess, how was the composition process for this album?
We usually have a rather strict plan with a storyboard, and because we are suckers for theme albums, So our first album and our third album are part of a trilogy.
Mhm.
And this one isn't, and the one in between those aren't isn't either. But we usually have a storyboard, we have a plan. With this album, we had guitar riffs and no plan. So we pretty much had recorded the whole album before we started doing the lyrics and themes, and we had no theme until I think maybe third song in or something like that. So the first two songs we wrote had nothing to do with the more feminine theme that's going through the album. So if you can find those two, you know which one we wrote first. So, uh, or I could just tell you, right? Uh, no, but I think the theme called out to us in itself. We didn't have to. It was sort of a relief not to have a plan and not be as strict. Maybe that was after the movie project that we felt like we'll just do stuff here.
Yeah, after being so strict with everything in the movie, you just wanted to have some fun again, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And we rehearsed in our rehearsal studio and did changes, worked together on it a lot before, and all the singing and lyrics that were on there were really just stupid shit that we came up in the moment. A lot of them in Swedish, so and containing various pasta sorts and macaronis in one, I think. But that's a relief.
Yeah, and you already said that there's a recurring feminine theme around the album. That's also the behind the name of the album, Trivia Goddess. Would you like to explain like the connection between Trivia Goddess and the feminine theme behind it?
We have several that we can like strong female symbols in the on the album, and the trivia goddess or Hecate is one of them. She's the she's many things, but the thing maybe that we have uh, taken to us is the mother of witches thing. So and sort of strengthening uh, the witches or females or whatever. We also have Eve from, also known from the Garden of Eden, and she's the one who gave us the knowledge of good and evil. So she's pretty cool. And anyway, so the trivia goddess here for us, we came on to the witch theme somehow because we started talking about how religious patriarchal systems were have been oppressing women through forever, pretty much. And so we talked about that, and we talked about the witch thing, and we thought, okay, let's play on this. And of course, Hecate will be there somewhere.
Yeah, and it turned out pretty solid as well, all the themes. Even though it didn't have a clear plan in the beginning, it turned out solid enough, or recurring on the themes in the album. And the first song is "The Power of Eve," as you were saying, also known from the Garden of Eden, and it has some brilliant vocal lines. Who was responsible for that? Who created that part?
Which part do you think are you thinking of,
Like in the
or the
verse,
whole?
all those parts where you're singing normally and then it goes to falsetto and then back to normally again. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, yeah, we had. So basically, me and Thomas. Thomas is the lead singer. I sing on a few songs and a lot of backing vocals. We sat down and we wrote the song and the melody. And then when it was time to record it, I wasn't able to be there, and our time was sort of running out. So uh, our guitar player Jonas and Thomas, they were went to the studio and recorded the lyrics or the vocals, and Thomas didn't quite remember the melodies for the verses, so he just sang something, and it turned out really cool. But I was kind of missing parts of the melody that we have had written together. So we let the backing vocals do that. So that's why we also have the like a call response thing going, and sometimes they join line up. But that's just me being stubborn. I love that melody. I want it in there. So that's pretty much how it happened, and it's that's a I think one of the most fun things about creativity is that you can combine ideas and you can play with it. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And I think we've experimented more with the vocal parts for this album to have um, more things happening, like counterpoint things or whatever. I'm not completely at home with all the terminology. So, but there are some polyphonic and monophonic things and homophonic and all of what they call.
Yeah, no,
So
I remember when I was preparing this interview and was listening to the album and just listening to that first track and completely blown away. Like, what is this? What is this guy doing? This is brilliant. So, congratulations. It turned out really, really dope.
thank you. Yeah,
Then
thank you.
another track that I would highlight on the album is Metagve, is especially Doomy. What inspired you to write that track?
Actually, it was one of those early ones before we
Ah,
had a theme. Because Metagwe is like Neptune or Poseidon, but for
okay.
the West Indies, the voodoo culture, so
Hmm.
sort of. So, and we were just talking about, since we didn't have any themes, we sort of made a list of stuff and like, oh, I remember that movie with a Haitian zombie powder. Yeah, that would be creepy to be buried alive. So that song is pretty much about being buried alive after ingesting some Haitian zombie powder. So it was more of a our love for horror things, films, stuff like that, that made that song. But then now I don't remember the artist. There is another song called Metagüe by an artist from the West Indies, a female, and something in that just caught us, and we went, well, maybe we should let Metagüe take us to the burial place over the waters from the funeral home, because it kind of the music when we had recorded it, we listened to the songs to the music we had recorded, and what do you feel when you hear this? And we felt very much some sort of like I think maybe a little bit of New Orleans and a little bit of like the West Indies or something like that in there. The and Thomas started just singing the lyrics. We didn't have any melody. We just wrote down words, and he started singing it. And I thought, well, we could change the beat, and this would be a reggae song. That was cool. So, and then it all evolved even more there. So, Metagua is taking us from the funeral home to the banks of the river where we are to be buried, and then dig ourselves out of, and then get the help from others to get out of there. But we're apparently zombies, and so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and it fits perfectly the theme, not maybe of the album, but of the band for sure. It also follows that line that Year of the God have been paving. Um, then Alucarda has that 70s rock touch that you have been making throughout your career. How was the composition process for that song?
Yeah, is Thomas had a riff just going the basic riff that it begins with, and that song was the one about macaronis, and it was like methamphetamine and macaronis, suburban life, something like that in Swedish. So it was just a silly lyric we had on it, but we really liked it. We thought it had a 70s feel, and with a Swedish lyric, it sounded like Swedish hard rock bands in the 70s uh, that were pretty straightforward. So I think we worked on that, and I know the song from an EP, Mystic Mountains, that we did. To me, they have a similar feel, even though the other one is like a 6/8 rhythm and this one is a 4/4. But something in them, they are more like straight on, just the chords. And you can hear also in Alucarda, there is the acoustic guitar that's adding a layer of rhythm to the whole thing that feels really old and nice that way. So I think it was a lot of jamming and then the different parts, and I think it came together beautifully. And when we got the right lyrics, and at the first point, the time in the beginning, we didn't have any, sorry, lyrics for the bridge part in the middle. If you die in your dreams tonight thing. But our guitar player David said, "Well, that's a killer chorus. You have to write lyrics for that. We cannot have stupid guitar solos over all over it. It's too long." And that's if a guitar player says that, you know, you have to do something. So we came up with that, and it felt like it just hit home right away. It's like a second chorus more than a bridge, I think.
Yeah, and now that you mention David, this is actually the first album for him. How was the process of recruiting him?
Jonas, he knew David from before, and he asked him if he could join. He's playing in another Swedish band called Helvetes Sport,
Mm.
and so he figured, yeah, sure, I can be in the band. And more, I think he has grown into the whole thing and taken a bigger and bigger part. That's really good. And he also knew our new latest bass player because we lost the bass player just before it was time to record the bass for the album. So we had a good friend who's usually helping us do backup vocals to do the bass, and he's great. But he's in so many projects, and he hasn't got the time to spend his life with us any more than he does.
Yeah, and it turned out great. You are also now preparing for an upcoming European tour, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
What are you
Um,
preparing now?
Next week we have the release, and we do that in our hometown, or at least four of us live here, and so 4 out of 7. So that's a good thing. But and of Norrköping, and then the week after that we will be doing. I think it's Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Jönköping. So it's three more Swedish cities. Then we take a little break, and then we're pretty much doing Germany with some stops in Austria and Poland, I think. That's probably what happens when you have German booking agencies and you do like the first tour. We're hoping to expand that area a little bit. We have had shows pretty much all over except for Spain and Portugal, maybe. I
Yeah.
think beyond that, we've been in many of the European countries. So
Yeah, as you were saying, I don't think you've ever been to Portugal, but if the chance comes, don't waste it. I would love to see a show and to talk to you personally. So
yeah,
would
yeah,
be
that
great
would
to
be.
have you here.
We would love that, and we have our biggest fan in Portugal. We've had for a long time, Antonio. I will not say his last name, but he know who he is. he knows who he is. So, but he's it's a lot of the people who were around early, like from our first album, who dug it and reached out. They stay with us somehow, and we get to know them.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
great. They
that's how
have to
we
pay him
are.
a visit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.